Good morning. This is a morning brief for the grain markets. It's March 2nd and it's 8:55 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm Rich Pawson. Let's keep this short because there's really nothing new on the fundamental side, news cycle side, nothing great going on there. Yes, export inspections picked up a bit for corn and soybeans. Yes, they got dryness in Kansas, a few other areas. Yes, they're still watching Brazil. Yes, we're still watching exports in China, but it's pretty much the old game here. I think this market's just trying to ride it out until it gets into the planting intention reports and stocks reports and stuff at the end of this month. And they may even just try to write it out, just wait until we get ready for that summer weather rally. I was on Agri Talk Radio yesterday, and I was on their afternoon show, which I haven't been on in quite some time, and that's probably the more popular, bigger show, so I'm very thankful for Chip having me on. We discussed a lot of the macro stuff. I'm one of the few commodity guys in the nation that can actually talk the macro stuff and actually have some accurate stuff. And so Chip really likes focusing on that. Many others who have me on their shows want to focus more on that because they already got all kinds of regular grain analysts. But the thing is, I think I'm pretty darn good in the grain analysts too, and so it's nice to have an opening up. Well, yesterday I meant to... there was discussion before it was my time to be on of how the old crop, new crop is giving us different pictures. And I totally forgot to try to give my little opinion on that. I do believe the strength in November and December soybean corn futures respectively versus the nearbys here is a sign that yes, they want to take this higher into April. Yes, they want to take it higher into summer, that it's all there. What we have is just near-term worries over running prices higher than we should have. The commercials are seeing that they either gotta suck it up and not do so well after all because of higher prices, and you can't hedge everything all the time. Eventually you've got to ratchet higher, and they may be nervous over ratcheting it too higher to the consumer. And so they could take a hit, and they're not happy about that. But they also know there can be windfalls and benefits down the road for them. Or at least I've tried to teach that over the years. Bottom line is also I think the futures market does think it's high price. It's recognizing how much more bullish news can we get. At the same time, it's recognizing, yeah, but how bearish can it really get, okay? And I think it's the new crop that's lacking the sellers. We've got the sellers in nearby. We've got traders. We've got profit taking. We've got them doing business. But I'm not so sure that's bullish or bearish for now and at the end of the month on into April. And it may not be bullish or bearish all the way into May, believe it or not. I'm concerned May is going to be a good planting month, and that can be bearish. I'm concerned that they will sell around the time of the planting intentions report. I do think we're going to get the 90 to 92 million acres of soybean to corn respectively. I think we can already get it now. You know, some people say beans need to work higher to capture that 90. I don't agree with that. I think we already got it, okay? So I'm not coming up with any new numbers. I'll follow everyone else's numbers just like you will, and you may have your own numbers. I don't see any value in throwing those darts and coming up with a forecast. I'm fine with going along with USD for now. So here's where we do. We've got to revise, I think, to a level 3 bottom as of March. Our top is March 1st, even though the model called it a few days earlier, and it hasn't even bothered to catch up with that yet. It probably will. I think this is too big of a drop, which is why the model will catch up that. But if this market were to soar today and tomorrow, all the way back up and higher, then the top was probably here and they did an oops. Something went wrong, had a little broken down market for a moment, and then they said, oops, we got to get back up there. I don't think that's what's going on. I think this is the level 3 top. I think the model will be on board with me by tomorrow or the next day. I think the model is searching for a level 3 bottom. I think it's coming today. And I think it's coming with a level 4 bottom. Now, the model is warning this could be a level 4 bottom here, not here. Weird pattern, a truncated low. This suggests, yes, it can stay down today, maybe even into early tomorrow. Then you get your bounce. So if you start seeing it trade higher today, closes higher today, gives us a positive reversal, call it a level 4 bottom, but I think you better call it a level 3. I realize we can be wrong and it's going lower in late month like I've previously forecast, but I think this is a level 3 bottom. I think it heads higher through next week into the following week for a level 3 top. They could buy this for 7 or more business trading days. Okay? So I don't think this thing's really going down into the end of the March. I think it's probably going sideways, but I want to give it a chance to actually move up. Now, how can we be wrong? Well, obviously, if it takes out the overnight low and goes lower and closes lower, we'll still be looking for a level 3 bottom, but we're running out of time. If it's going to do it, it should be doing it now, tomorrow, that's it. If it's still going lower by Monday, we missed a level 3 bottom here, which is where we originally tried to call it, and we got a brand new level 3 trend, and yes, that would worry me. This market's going to be sluggish right into the end of the March, okay? Now, let's make a little more sense out of that. By the way, watch 5-day average as your nearby resistance. The daily stochastic is bearish, all right? It's not got a nice wide spread. It's warning this thing's going lower near term. But it's also near mid-range, and I've seen these bearish-looking stochastics, and all of a sudden they just abruptly turn. I still got to try to call a level 3 bottom. I think that indicator is a little bit off the mark here, a little bit wrong. Let's zoom out to the weekly chart now for the bigger patterns, and there it is. That's your level 3 rollover. I got carried away last week, probably flipped too soon. But yeah, I may be right that this market's going to try to move higher into April, and the level 2 bottom by the end of March, early April, around that planning tension point won't be all that big a deal. But I could be entirely wrong. This thing could go lower all the way into the March for that bottom, and then it's probably not going to rally well in April, okay? So we got those two, we got conflicting stories. The nearby trader is really unsure what to do. The farther out trader in those November, December contracts really is convinced there's no reason to sell here. They want to wait to summer. And I think the nearby is eventually going to get caught up with the new crop market and be in agreement. Weekly stochastic could turn on a dime any moment. It's mid-range here. Could be a secondary buy. That's not a wide enough spread to assume lingering downside momentum, but it is bearish acting and it has plenty of room to go on down to oversold. So I could be wrong and this thing goes lower in the late March. Right at the moment, I think the best forecast is it's going sideways for March. The second best forecast is it's going to try to move somewhat higher, perhaps into April, so it really doesn't pull down by the end of March. And then the third forecast is it's just going lower in the end of March, okay? Hopefully that makes some sense. All right, let's move on to the soybeans, and let's just start with the weekly. Also watch that 5-week average on the corn. Here's the weekly soybeans. I think it's doing very well, actually. I'm feeling somewhat confident it wants to go higher in April, but it realizes it can go down for the report, and it could be important because it's a level 2 bottom. So it could be in a report, okay, bullish or bearish. The report, for the moment, looks like it should be bearish in the sense of more acres, but the point is that's kind of well known. Watch the 5-week average, but again, the close of the week is most important with that average. The stochastic is rolling over for a sell signal. That's a bit worrisome. That yes, it's going lower in the late March, but this could be just a little hesitation setback. It hasn't truly given us a sell signal. We have to see what happens by the end of the week. So my guess is this is going to be up next week for a level 3. And it's just a matter, is it going to be up well? Is this just going to falter out on us and struggle for range trade? How much upside do we have? Maybe 1479 up to 1541, believe it or not. That may take all the way into April, however. On the other hand, it may just be up a little higher, and that recent high may hold as resistance over the next few to several weeks even. Downside potential, you just got to look at all these weekly lows. It could be down to 1342. If it is going down the rest of this month in the level 2 bottom, it could go all the way down to 1298. I no longer believe it will go below 1298 this time around. I just don't think it's that bearish anymore, okay? Should I show you something on the daily beans if I can find it? I don't know if there's really useful information, and I got to clean this chart up. It's an ugly looking chart, in my opinion. All I can tell you is level 3 bottom today like corn, level 4 bottom today like corn. I can be early by 1 day. If it's going still lower by the end of this week, we got problems. It's not bullish after all. Let's move on to and watch your 5-day average. Wheat disappointed me. I thought they would bring it back, fill this gap, give us a level 3 top. The model has not yet revised. It should have. I don't know why. This is just too darn low. We missed a level 3 top. Damn it. I hate that. We're better than that, okay? I'm better than that. The model's better than that. We missed it. They really made up their mind. Yep, wheat is nothing but a grass, and you just should always bet against these weather rallies. And it just stayed up longer than it should have, and then they gave up, okay? The dollar is up. It's probably bothering them, but I think it's more or less give up on the damaged wheat crop. It is oversold now, wide enough spread to warn of still chance of lingering momentum. They may take it all the way down to around 632 for all I know. We need to revise this, I think, in terms of a level 3. We may have a bottom here. So I don't have any good advice for you today on wheat. All right. I think if you get a positive daily reversal, they're probably going to bounce it for a few days, and they might yet shock us and really put it up, only to really put it down. I'm just concerned it's going to be giving us problems for a while, and I'm just low confidence of what's going on. Now, if we go to the weekly chart, what happened here? That's okay. On the weekly chart, I'm a little less concerned, okay? It might be sloppy on us on the daily. We don't know what we're doing here, or I don't know what I'm doing. Hopefully you know what you're doing, and hopefully I didn't interfere with you. But the weekly stochastic is bullish still. It is near mid-range, so we have to worry it can roll over for a secondary sell signal. Debatable if this is wide enough spread to suggest lingering upside momentum. I'm willing to go with it at the moment. I think this is nothing more than maybe a delayed, very late level 3 pullback. I don't know. It would have to bottom right now and today, and it may do that because it could be in line with the corn and soybean forecast. My best guess is be cautious about being bullish unless they take out this week's high at 666 3/4. How's that for a wild number for you? For the March SRW Chicago wheat. If it were to go above that this week, especially on a close, I think that's a sign it's going higher in the next week for a level 3 top, okay? And it may even go into early the following week. I think it should try to struggle higher or move sideways into a level 2 and maybe a level 1 top, and maybe even a long-term business cycle top, although my guess is it will be higher this summer in sympathy with corn, and we may even see a little bit of a wheat problem yet this summer. I think it's going to rally up into that lower target. Hopefully there's been some help. I tried to keep this short and then, of course, got caught up in these bigger trends. But at any rate, probably we'll still do an update tomorrow to be on our regular schedule. But it's possible, since I gave you a video update on a Tuesday here, it's possible I'll just give a free audio update out there. I need to also learn to take the time to switch to audios on my video system and then keep them locked up. Any rate, don't know as a whole lot's going to go on here until we get to Friday for the weekly update. Manage your risk, Ralph Now Southers. Thank you.